Hey guys, this is Angie, also known as The Light. Welcome to my channel. So before I begin, I want to shout out Battle Hymn of Empath. Please check out her channel. She is amazing. She did a response video to my video, The Narcissist Brings Out the Evil in You. And I mean, she's awesome. She broke down the psychological impact that the narcissist has on you, changing your character. But go to her channel and check her videos out. She's amazing. I subscribe to her. Battle Hymn of Empath. Then I want to shout out Sweet Mom for Life. Hopefully that is your name. I think that is your name. Sweet Mom for Life. Check out her channel as well. She's talking about how she's trying to heal from her narcissistic relationship that she had to end, and she's so pure, very genuine woman, energetic, beautiful, and you're gonna love her channel as well. I also want to give a shout out to Emily and Joanna for giving me donations. You did not have to do that. Like when I started this channel, it wasn't in my mind to monetize monetize this channel. It was for my own healing, for my own venting, and I wanted to get my story out there to help other people so they can heal also. And but then again, you think about it, it does take a lot of energy, it does take time, and I don't like to just put anything out there. That's why my videos are like months apart, because I don't want to give any information, because words are very powerful, and I don't want to say something that is not from my heart. So I try to wait some time to where God or spirit, in me has the exact words to say to you. But I'm going to work on my channel definitely now that I have extra time. So thank you so much for the money. I really appreciate it. I have a PayPal, so if anybody wants to donate to me, that's awesome. And if not, it's cool. My PayPal information is always going to be in the description box. If not, just please subscribe to my channel, share my videos, watch my videos, and that makes me happy. Okay, so today I want to talk about when the narcissist triangulates you. And I'm not gonna lie, every narcissist that I had in my life, whether it was family, a lover, or a friend, did this to me. So that means the overt and the covert as well uses this particular tactic. And this tactic drove me crazy. And that's because, I'm a Leo and I have an ego. And Leos are, we care a lot about what people think about us. And that's something that I had to get rid of. Codependent. I was also codependent. So I cared a lot about what people think about me. I'm always focused on my personality and the projection that I give out to the world, more than me caring about how I look or how my hair looks, or I care more about the perception of my character. And when you're codependent, you're a sucker for that. Like, someone calling you ugly is probably not going to bother you as much as someone saying to you, like, you're evil, or you're this type of person and that type of person. That's gonna like affect you even more. And being that I was codependent, when they were using other people to get to me to break my confidence, it worked very well. I'm gonna say this was the tactic that almost made me want to check in the crazy house, because it leaves you feeling worthless. because it's like they're always making you feel like you're not good enough, pretty much. When I had this long-term friendship with my ex best friend, who was a narcissist, he triangulated me with his family, his lovers, he was gay, and other friends. But this one particular incident, I live in New York and he lived in another state. And he was moving to another state. And he was getting his first place, and we had always said that we were going to live together. So he made this promise to me that I can come live with him. And I was just so excited, and he was probably there for like about a month before he was like, okay, you can come here and check it out. And but then again, he was kind of hesitant, and I was just like, why is he being hesitant? Keep in mind, I did not know what narcissism was at this time. I knew that he had issues. I knew that he was abusive, emotionally abusive, but I didn't know it was narcissism. I didn't know to the degree of it. And keep in mind, I was already trapped into his program that he had programmed me into. Anyway, so he's like, okay, you can come here. But I remember him saying to me, if you don't do what I want you to do, you have to leave. And I was just like, okay, like whatever that means. So I packed my things up. I get on Greyhound and I go to this other state. And when I got there, it was like complete control. Like he had this nasty attitude, like, oh, this is my apartment and you're gonna help me furniture shop, and you're gonna cook my meals when I'm not home. And it was just crazy. He was trying to put me into like this housewife position. So I remember the first night, or like first couple of days I was there, I would say by the second night, he kept telling me about this other female friend that he had there. And I was just like, okay, he works for TSA and she did also. So they met at work. And he was like, oh, she's so great and she's so beautiful and she's this and she's that. And he was just like, you know what, I think I actually kind of like her. I think I'm attracted to her. And I'm going, what are you talking about? Like, he was just saying how great she was. She was married. She had a husband. She was living with her husband. And he was just like, well, we're actually going to go to the gym tonight. And, I want you to come. And I'm like, come with you and the girl to the gym? He's like, yeah, she's like my best friend. And I'm like, what does he mean? Like, she's like my best friend? And it was just so weird because I've never heard of this girl until I got to the state that he was in. And I'm just, of course, I was like kind of jealous because I'm like, who is this girl? And I mean, he was talking about her non-stop. And he was just like, oh, she's so pretty and she's so funny and she's so this and she's so that. And I was feeling some kind of way, like, where did this girl come from? How does he have like this new bestie and I'm supposed to be his best friend? Like, where is this girl coming from? So I ended up going to the gym with them. And the girl was nice to me. She was like, oh, I heard so much about you. And I'm like, I wasn't rude. I didn't say, well, I didn't hear nothing about you, but I had my guard up. And it was just like, because he built this insecurity in me, I'm naturally going to have an attitude with her. You see how they play these games with you? So I was already standoffish and didn't want to get to know her. This woman probably was the sweetest thing ever. But because he already put that insecurity in me, and was, basically introducing me to my replacement, it had me look at her in a different way. Long story short, me and the girl kind of almost got into an argument at the gym. And it wasn't that like she really did anything per se. She was just being herself. She was being herself. And people use slang term and they use the word, like kids today, some young people, they use the N-word, and basically she was like, yeah, what's good, like, how you doing, my nigga? And I basically checked her on that. I was just like, you don't know me like that, don't call me a nigga. I don't even use that word. I don't play with that word. I may use curse words from time to time, but I just don't like the word nigga. It just has too much value to me as a black woman, so I don't use it. And she was Colombian. I don't know, because she is a Hispanic woman, she didn't know the value of the word, but I feel like she should have known better. But anyway, I don't want to make this a racial thing, but I checked her on that, and I just felt as if I already had those insecurities that he built in me, and the triangulating between her and I gave that tension, made me not like her off the bat. So they just put you in these situations to make you just come out of your character and just not be yourself. Another time, sometimes it's very difficult to tell these stories because it's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing how when you think back to it, I laugh at it sometimes, like, who was I? When you're around these narcissists, you're just not yourself. You're just not yourself. They got your mind all messed up. And it's really funny because these people really are nothing. They're really nothing. They have like no value. They came to you because you were the light. That's why I call myself the light. They come to you to drain your light. You possess everything that they wish they had. And that's why they're around you. That's why they leeching off of your spirit. But anyway, another time I was in a triangulating situation, was when I was dating a covert narcissist. And this was really disgusting. So I basically was trying to get away. So I decided to move to Florida. And I was living in New York at the time. I was living in Long Island. And I told my family, like, listen, I was so depressed because I was in this horrible relationship with him. And I had a lot of responsibility at home with my mom having cancer. She had just got married, and I felt as if, you know what, it's time for her husband to take on the responsibility. I cannot care for my sick mother anymore. And I was about 25 at the time. It was time to let me live, basically. So I decided I was moving to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I told the narc that I was in this relationship with that I was leaving and I was moving to Florida, and he flipped. And he could try to convince me to stay, and he was just like, oh, it's not going to be the same when you leave, and there's no way I'll be faithful to you when you go. And I was just like, okay, whatever. That's completely fine. I have to go. And I moved. I went to Florida. And while I was in Florida, ugh, it's so embarrassing to tell these stories. But while I was in Florida, he would text me, you know, horrible things, talking about other women, and how eventually he would have to find sex and oral sex from other women. And yeah, I felt I was in love with him. So of course that drove me insane, but I still felt I needed to be in Florida. And I remember one day I was online and I received the email. This is back in 2005, 2000, yeah, around 2004, 2005. And I received the email from him. And when I opened up the email, it was a photo of a woman giving him oral sex. And he wrote, "She's better than you." This is how disgusting these narcissists are. They will go so far to break your confidence, so far to have you thinking that there's somebody else. I don't know. I mean, to this day, when I think about it, that picture could have been old. It probably wasn't even a recent woman. But this is like how far they'll go. They'll use anything to make you feel as if there's somebody else better out there. I was talking to this guy, and I was digging him. I was attracted to him, and I was like, this was like giving me an indication that he was a narcissist. When you're getting to know a person, you're not gonna say to them, you know what, you know, we're on a date and we're talking, and he's like, well, I'll settle down if I come across somebody worthy enough for me to settle down with. That's not something you say to someone like you're trying to date them and get to know them. And he'll randomly say, oh, this woman, you know, she bought me $300 shoes. Oh, this woman took me here. This woman took me there. Just always telling me what another woman is doing for him or has done for him in the past. And this is what they'll do because, I mean, there are some narcissists who want you for sex, or they want you for money. They want you for emotional comfort. They want you for all these different things. And I guess this particular narcissist, he was using women for money, basically. And so he was trying to project that and make me feel some kind of way. And one day I asked him what his sexual fantasy was. And he said his sexual fantasy was someone to rent a hotel room off Times Square. And he wanted to party all night and then have sex on the balcony. And it was, to me, it was kind of odd in the detailing, and because everything like that he was describing about this fantasy, this sexual night, it was about somebody doing something financial for him, you know, dinner, and oh, I want to go shopping, and you know, like rent a expensive suite for me. And I was just like, this guy is money hungry. You know, this is definitely a narcissist here, and he definitely uses women for money. They'll make up imaginary people, even if they're not cheating on you. They will create things. I had a narcissist tell me one time, I had a threesome. I cheated on you and I had a threesome. And then years later, he told me, I never had that threesome. I just wanted to see your reaction. And this is the shit that they'll do to have you going crazy. I would say don't give no reaction to them. When you stop giving them reaction, that's when they're going to leave you alone. That's when they're going to leave you alone, definitely. This video is over 20 minutes, and I'm not sure exactly how much time I have. Hopefully this video was of some help to you. Peace and blessings.